What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. I am exhausted. I am tired. Yesterday was one of the longest days in history. I was awake for 21 straight hours between medical testing for surgery, then a book client, and then my draft party with my friend Steve. Shout out to Steve, buddy of mine from high school I stayed up with and caught up with last night. I was up for 21 straight hours, and now I'm exhausted as I get ready for a wedding rehearsal tonight. But I could not let the day pass without bringing you guys a quick video. I sound like shit, I feel like shit, but I'm here, and I'm happy. The Pittsburgh Steelers made a pick last night in the first round of the draft at pick 21. Jags started the draft off by trading up to number 2 immediately, and I was like, we're in for a wild night. Didn't wind up being that crazy. When we got to the Pittsburgh Steelers pick, Kenneth Grant was already gone earlier than expected, and then Walter Nolan had just gone. So the only potential D tackle that was there out of our dream draft, my favorite personal position to draft, was Derrick Harmon. He was sitting there at 21, but also Shedeur Sanders was sitting there at 21, and so was Jackson Dart. And I know Pittsburgh has talked about Dart for weeks and weeks, and all of a sudden over the past week it's been a lot of Shedeur Sanders, and I don't believe in either of those guys, and I think there's a reason why they were sitting there. And by the end of the night, Shedeur Sanders was still sitting there, thank God. I was getting afraid Pittsburgh was going to draft Shedeur Sanders and try to do another reach for a young athlete. We saw what happened with Kenny Pickett, and it was going to be a lose-lose for Steeler fans because you know how Steeler fans can be. If we drafted Shedeur Sanders, it was, oh, what a wasted pick, what a reach, oh my God, he's so bad. And if we drafted Harmon, it was going to be, oh, we need a quarterback, we have no one to throw the ball. So it was going to be a lose-lose in the eyes of Steeler fans. Big win for me because Pittsburgh goes at number 21 with Derrick Harmon out of Oregon. This was the best pick for me. Again, Kenneth Grant was my number 1 dream pick guy for this draft. Harmon was my number 2. While Nolan has the higher upside, Harmon is the kind of more sure thing. Harmon is an absolute tank. The dude is 6'5", at least 315, and he is not only probably the strongest pound-for-pound guy in this draft in terms of D tackles, but he also is incredibly athletic for a guy that size. He is a legit middle of the field, just like Casey Hampton, big bowling ball guy. But he's also got a very underrated motor, and he can block shed, and he's very athletic. He has that combination of speed and power that I love. A lot of guys are comparing his pro comp to Cam Hayward, the guy he's going to replace eventually. So you get flexibility with this guy because they can do one of two things now. Harmon is one of those guys that he specializes most in pass rushing more so than run stuffing, but he can do both. But as a pass rusher, you want to put him as your end. You want to put him as the end on the other side of Cam Hayward. But the point of this draft was to get a big guy like Harmon to move Keanu Benton to the outside, so you have Benton, then Harmon, then Hayward. So they can do either. I would put Harmon on the inside this year, along with Benton and Hayward on the outside. Cam's got 1 to 2 years left, and then you can move Harmon to the outside to be the new Cam. And by then, in the next 2 drafts, you will have drafted another inside guy to play inside. I don't want to just keep Keanu Benton inside. I want to see what he can do as a pass rusher. He's got a lot of moves and athleticism himself. We now have a younger, more athletic line with a veteran anchor in Cam Hayward who's still playing like a beast. So, again, we saw what the last 5 games did to us last season. We saw the playoff run. We saw what guys like Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley did to us, running all over us, shoving the ball down our throats. And this guy is, again, a big body. He's a run stuffer. He can get pass deflections off the line. He's a very good pass rusher. I love this pick so much. This was the best possible pick for the guys left over at this point. I love this pick. Let me give you his stats real quick, and then we'll talk positives and negatives briefly. In 4 years in college, he played 3 years at Michigan State, and then last year at Oregon, really broke out at Oregon. His stats took off last year at Oregon. In 42 games in those 4 seasons, he has 116 combined tackles, 18 tackles for a loss, 8.5 sacks, 6 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, and 3 fumble recoveries. So he's doing it all. He can jump up and deflect the pass on the line. He can force fumbles. He's around turnovers. He can stop the run. Like I said, he shines really in pass rush. His big positives for me, he's got very good hands. He has quick hands. He utilizes his hands very well. The dude is very, very, again, athletic and fast for a guy that size and uses his hands very, very well. His techniques overall, I think he may have more pass rush techniques and more block shed techniques than any other D tackle in this draft, besides Mason Graham, obviously. I think Harmon is a complete package as far as different techniques to use on the line. The dude's got chops. The dude's got everything. He can use his hands. He can recover with his feet fairly quickly. I like what he's got technique-wise to the table. Again, that just kind of front end power, back end speed, but the technique is there too. It's a little bit raw. It could be a little refined. He's not perfect yet. He can definitely use some NFL coaching to refine those hand movements and make sure that every movement means something, because he comes at you so quick with his hands that he doesn't always make those hands land. When he does, he's a can't-miss guy. He's got to land those hands more consistently, but he's got very good hand movement and good technique. Pass rush, again, the dude just gets to the quarterback. 8.5 sacks total. I think he had 5.5 last year. And of his tackles for a loss, he has 18, 11 last year. Just getting to the quarterback and getting to the running back in the backfield, making things happen. Negatives, he does play high. The dude is 6'5". He is massive. 6'5" and at least 315. At one point weighed 330. So he's still shedding some of that baby weight, but he's got good muscle weight on him. He's so big that he plays high. I definitely don't see any problem with the bend or anything, but he does play high a little bit, has to get down lower, get into that squat stance, get himself dominant, because if you get under a guy in the NFL and you're that big and strong, you're going to win more reps. So got to play a little bit lower and needs to finish. He did have I think it was a 27% missed tackle rate last year. Got a ton of tackles, made a lot of plays, but does need to finish. A lot of times he'll get into the backfield, make a gigantic play to get back there, and then won't be able to finish the play. He does draw other guys in to help him finish, which is great. And at the NFL level, we're going to have that with Benton now on the outside and Hayward. I think we really have a nice situation there, but he's got to finish more tackles. So those are some positives and negatives and stats for him. I love the pick. Again, he can play defensive end when Cam's gone. He can play D-tackle and bump Keanu outside. It gives us flexibility. It gives us another guy that is strong and fast and young and a Steelers-style football guy. And it plugs, in my opinion, it was the best pick for the most needed position at the best value at 21. So it's a win across the board for me. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments down below what you think of Derrick Harmon. Where do you think he plays next season? D-tackle or D-end? What do you think he does? Does he get in there on day one? Because I definitely think he should. I know Tomlin doesn't always do that, but I think he should. And I'll bring you guys the round 3 pick and any other kind of trade ups or trade backs or anything. I'll try to bring that to you guys tonight. Might wind up being like Sunday after the wedding. I'm giving a wedding on Saturday, and I have a rehearsal tonight and a wedding tomorrow. So we'll see. But at some point this weekend, I'll bring you guys both day 2 and day 3 of the draft. So stay tuned. Take care and go Steelers. I'm tired.